Electionzilla 2016 on the SHR Network.
And welcome back to the SHR Media Network Election Night Special.
God bless computers.
The race to 269.
The race to keep the laptops up and operating.
That makes it a dead even, right? A tie.
Right.
Everybody gets a trophy.
Right.
Then
Everybody
they can
wins.
Share the White House.
Virginia, 59% in. Trump, 50.2%. Hillary Clinton, 44.8%.
Didn't that go blue last time?
Yeah. It's historically back and forth. And I'm
Did
hoping
Virginia go blue? Last
Hello?
map?
I believe so. Hello?
Hello.
Sorry about that. It was
It's okay. You
see
didn't like my Florida numbers.
And what's weird is after he threw the computer across the room, he said, "I hate those Florida numbers."
how did you guess?
And so we had to do a side computer to get things going again.
You know, Jeff and a lot of people
4% in. 49-1, 47-8.
Wow. Yeah, and we're talking about that and Virginia now because Virginia's
And
really starting to
Virginia.
open up.
63% in, and it's 50, a little over 50, and a 40 versus 45.
That's kind of a hurt for the Dems.
If he pulls it off,
Yeah,
it's a huge hurt for the
that's a
Dems.
huge hurt. But again, this goes to show you that the mantra of this election is, who knows what the hell is going to happen? I mean, really, at the end of the day.
Well, how many of us said that that Trump had reached his ceiling after like the second debate, the second primary debate?
Well, I think we said that when we saw him in Freedom Fest last year, not this past year. We saw him speak live. We honestly thought, I'll be the first to admit it, I was like, that's probably not going to go much past here. This is going to be the biggest one. And he kept going. Very strange stuff. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Anyone who listens to our show, the Sackhead Show. Now, if you listen to the Sackhead Show on a regular basis, we have an odd timing where all of a sudden our broadcast computer will just shut off. No blue screen of death, no warning, no timer, no update, nothing.
And it's usually when we mention Benghazi.
It's usually when we mention Benghazi.
Well, that's why Clint said he opened the door, looked outside, saw a red dot on his chest, and slammed the door, came back inside.
When we mention something very, very touching on the left side, it seems that our broadcast computer implodes for some strange reason. Jeff, we only have a few minutes left. I don't want to ask you to make any specific prediction, but are there any?
I do.
Well, go ahead.
I want to see. Is there anything you feel
Florida,
good?
North Carolina, Pittsburgh, and Michigan. Check those. Watch them all night. Those are going to be the winners.
Okay.
Whoever,
For Trump?
that.
So whoever pulls those four pulls the election, is what you're thinking.
2 out of 4. If Trump wins if Trump wins, for example, well, I'm assuming he's going to win Ohio, but if he wins Pennsylvania and Michigan, he doesn't need Florida.
And if he wins Florida, he doesn't need Pennsylvania or Michigan.
Well, he needs Florida, and he needs 2 of them. So then he needs Florida and North Carolina.
Right.
If he gets Michigan and Ohio, he's still screwed.
Right.
Yeah, but if he gets, but we also got Virginia, which none of us
Not
really.
yet, but
Well, if he holds Virginia,
Keep in mind, the most important county in Virginia is only 16% counted.
right? So that could change dramatically.
and is that a
no.
big left-leaning county?
That's Prince William County.
Yep.
Well, bringing back the emphasis on the point that late people voting are going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, there could be
Well-
people who got in the last minute.
But I can make 2 other predictions. Gary Johnson and what's-her-name Stein aren't going to win anything, and neither will McMullen.
And neither will Sackhead Clint.
Hey, I know it's very, very.
Sackhead Sean.
Thank you. I know it's very, very unlikely, but can you imagine if he stuck his Johnson into this deep enough that he actually screwed up an electoral for either one of them?
Well, his thing is, and this is the part I don't understand, he says that if he wins Utah, he can make it go to the House. Now, if the rules is that every state gets one vote, and by the majority of the people in each delegation, you tell me what delegation is going to vote for him instead of someone of their own party.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he'd be crazy to do it. Absolutely crazy to do it. But who knows?
But that's the only thing that he's in there for, to stick his wunk and screw it up for someone else.
Well, and once again, who knows what's going to happen, because I'm not calling anything in this election right now. In the next probably hour.
Other than what we've called already.
Chuck Schumer's winning New York.
That's a shock. Hillary's going to win California.
I'm almost positive, Hillary will take California.
I actually had an interesting discussion with somebody earlier today who said, you know what, I wouldn't be surprised if Trump takes California. I said, you're out of your stinking mind. He said, no. Look what happened. People in this state, in California, lose their mind over celebrities. Look what Arnold Schwarzenegger did.
Right.
And I said, you're still smoking crack cocaine.
Well, but I had the discussion today that if
chance that I wake up with a full head of hair tomorrow.
I'm on that bus, Jeff.
If California was not a winner-take-all state, hypothetically,
which
it should not be,
I don't think any state should be.
Then everybody that I've talked to, I had this conversation today, says that outside of Reagan, Trump probably would have pulled in the most electoral votes by a Republican in the state in 40 years. Outside of Reagan.
Well,
right.
Certainly Southern California with all the Latinos aren't going to vote for Trump.
San Diego is a very conservative area, though.
True. But there are a lot more people in La La Land, right?
Yeah. But you also have, one of the things everyone forgets is you get a lot of counties out here that are very rural. So when you're talking about not winner take all, and you're talking about those counties, the potential is there for and which is why the Democrats will never let it change in California, because it's a lot of electoral votes, and that changes the entire election map in a lot of ways. Because Hillary, they might as well have started her with 110 votes, right? California's a slam dunk.
California is 55.
California, New York, and New Jersey.
Right. Just right there. Massachusetts.
Before we wrap up, can I just pimp something?
Oh, you could pimp whatever
Pimp
you want.
away.
Preferably me,
Tomorrow's Lid Radio show on this network at 2 o'clock. The guest is going to be Ed Marcy of Hot Air, and we're going to discuss what the hell happened.
And Ed's actually a great guy, very, very insightful, very intelligent, and of course,
a great friend of mine. So,
the Lid Radio show right here on SHR Media, a great show. And of course, you're the editor-in-chief of the Lid.com. You could just
that too, but I wanted to get a big audience for the show tomorrow.
It's going to be a great show, and of course,
it's going to be a good show with Ed.
If you don't check out Jeff's site, you're doing yourself a disservice, because there's some amazing articles, some very, very humorous. Jeff has a great sense of humor, which he and I often explore in our private conversations. But
my wife likes the site.
Wow, look at you changing lives.
Well, my wife, she's got to like it. Otherwise, I got to close it. Happy wife, happy life. We all know that.
That's not always true. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to wrap up the last couple minutes, and we'll talk to you after Ken's show, and we'll hear you on Ken's show.
Take care, Jeff.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
There he goes. 2 minutes left in this show before we turn it over to the exceptional one, Ken McClinton. Obviously, we're sitting here watching with bated breath. Obviously, we're still, a lot of things are just too close. PBS is reporting right now that Trump is up 50% to Clinton's 45% in Virginia, with 71% in.
That could be huge.
So that could be huge.
That could be big.
And there's a lot of other outlets. But again, you start looking at all the different sites that we're following, right? All the big ones. We're following them on some level, some of the smaller ones as well. There's no consistency until...
No, the only thing that you can count on that's consistent is the inconsistency itself.
Right. Because,
This election has blown everything up.
I've never seen it.
Everything.
Normally on an election, when the percentage is there, the numbers are there, the exit polling is there, your phone blows up from every single media outlet at the exact same time and within minutes of each other. And this one, it's not happening.
Nope.
They're not making bold predictions. And that
Hillary-
means we're going to be here late tonight.
Hillary Clinton is actually sweating
well,
now.
she-
Guaranteed.
And hopefully that the
Despite the massive amount of corruption that's gone on. Massive.
It should not be this
Unprecedented.
close.
it should not be
This
this
should not
close.
be this close.
It's absolutely insanity that it is this close. I tweeted earlier this week, Trump needs to win by more than the Democrats can fraud. And that's what it's going to come down to
Yep.
in a lot of areas. So we're going to wrap up here from the SHR Media Studios. This has been an SHR Media Special Report, Electionzilla 2016. The exceptional one, Ken McClinton, is here for the next 2 hours, and then we return to go over all the numbers, wrap it up. All of our correspondents will be checking in throughout the night, and we'll bring you the best coverage that we can right here on SHR Media.
Sorry, we'll be working here for you. Even as Ken's online, we'll be keeping up on the polls, keeping up with everything that's going on so that when we come back on, and even as Ken's updating, we'll have all the information for
And
you.
we'll be in chat.
Because we love you.
Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
SHR Media.
Electionzilla 2016 on the SHR Media Network.